Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I have a very special transit to talk about today. So it's the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces on April 12th. Now, this particular conjunction has never happened in our lifetimes. The last time this occurred was 1856, and so this is a really monumental time for all of us. So I felt it was really important to walk through with everyone. So my name is Evan, the founder and lead analyst of Inner Worlds Astrology. Now, if you'd like a reading with me, the link is in the description box below. I also have a TikTok, a Patreon, an Instagram, so you can follow me there. And please subscribe to my YouTube to get more videos like this. So, again, the significance of this transit is simply, number one, just because it's never happened in our lifetimes, but number two, both Jupiter and Neptune actually rule the sign of Pisces. So Pisces, really the nature of this sign is it's about opening yourself up to emotions around you, energies around you, tuning in to every radio station, regardless of what's playing, but like understanding it and being able to relate to and empathize with it. And when we think about Neptune, this is really about expanding our emotional connection to the world. And so we're able to empathize with and relate to the suffering and the needs and the emotions of humanity at large. So we're going way beyond our individual limitations here. We're almost sort of seeing the human condition reflected in everything. And that's really important. So when you think about a great piece of artwork or a song or a play or a film that really speaks to you, it speaks to you because it's reflecting something universal. You know, it kind of just hits your gut. And that's what Pisces is. Pisces is the universal archetypes that we all experience. We all go through periods of happiness and sadness and struggle and you know, there are ups and downs. And so with Pisces, we can kind of channel that through a number of things. Like I said, art, creativity, and also spirituality. Now, Jupiter so one thing about Neptune is that Neptune has been in Pisces since 2011. So that's been a steady crescendo of, you know, alternative approaches to spirituality, alternative understandings of what the human soul actually is. So thinking beyond organized religion, because Pisces is not organized. It's really about just, again, the actual emotions and the feelings. And so Pisces, because it's been here for a while, we've sort of, again, steadily amplified that feeling that, you know, maybe there are possibilities beyond what we, like, beyond the frameworks that we inherited, you know? And so when Jupiter comes in, Jupiter, so like I said, Neptune is about expanding in a lot of ways. Neptune is expanding our emotional connection to the cosmos, to humanity, to understanding more deeply the human soul. And Jupiter expands our awareness, our perception, our view. You know, it makes us more, it brings in an abundance of whatever sign it's in. So in Pisces, we're just creating even more of a deluge here. But with Jupiter, it's actually kind of, it's almost coming in to assist, because Neptune and Pisces on its own can actually kind of wallow in a sort of a lower expression of this sign. We can feel like we are defeated, we're exhausted because we have all these emotions coming in to our, you know, to ourselves. But so with Jupiter, it's a little bit more about a hopefulness that, you know, maybe we actually, through this empathy and this shared understanding and this archetypal experience, maybe we can dream of a better future, because Pisces is mutable, so it's changing the conditions. So whereas, you know, again, Neptune and Pisces on its own can highlight some of the more defeatist, you know, qualities of Pisces, where we almost want to detach from everything. Jupiter, you know, technically also rules over Sagittarius, and it can bring in some of that element of maybe fire a little bit. You know, in Pisces, there will be mostly emotions involved. But if you just think about the meaning of Jupiter, Jupiter is a little bit more adventuresome and daring and trying to aim for a better future, to actually go somewhere based on a new possibility that comes in, a new awareness that comes in. So when Jupiter conjuncts with Neptune, yes, again, it's expanding Pisces, but I think really what this time is that a lot of us will be getting a gift around April 12th, April 13th, when these planets are conjunct. So Jupiter will bring in this new awareness that, hey, this door is actually open for me. And I can see and dream with Pisces. I can dream, really like what is out there. What are in those realms beyond? And how can I actually reach that point? Are there possibilities for a better future? And so in a lot of ways, we can escape out of this woe is me version of Pisces and start to see how everything comes together, because Jupiter is about the sort of the connection between everything. Now, this is about also, this time is powerful because it's counteracting, in a lot of ways, it's counteracting the energy of Saturn. So if you think about Saturn is contraction, it's gravity, it's reality. Now, Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces exist beyond reality. They're kind of stretching for the stars. They're trying to find a sense of wonder and possibility. So this is an opportunity, April 12th, 13th, for you to reclaim a dream that you gave up on because of Saturnian responsibilities. So Saturn is really about, again, the individual. What are the limitations and the boundaries around yourself? What can you do with this with your mortality? Because Saturn is a reminder that we are mortal, that we can't just jump and fly away. We can't defy the laws of the universe. We can't defy the laws of society. Saturn is all about the squares and rectangles in our lives. So if you think about again, laws, if you even think about just regulations, you think about roads, you think about textbooks, anything, the television, anything that's organized in a box can technically have a Saturn quality because it controls the paths that we can take. Now with Neptune and Jupiter and Pisces, that's playing a different game. It's saying, okay, rather than pushing against the rules, rather than, maybe even playing an Aquarian role, let's go even further. Let's just go beyond the rules themselves, where maybe none of this reality that was given to us, maybe it is not real. Maybe the limitations are sort of optical illusions. And if we kind of put our minds to it, our imagination to it, we can stretch beyond it. If you think about all the greatest, franchises in the world, you think about like Disney, that all started with a dream, with an idea. And so with Pisces, you can experience these universal images, and again, these archetypes that allow you to kind of rewrite, in a lot of ways, to rewrite the rules, and to kind of know that you are limiting yourself. So Saturn, in a lot of times, is self-imposed limitations, self-limiting beliefs that originally we might have inherited from the system itself or from an authority figure in our lives. But over time, it gets so rigid and ingrained in our minds that we just, even if the chain is taken off, we might still be staying within our box. And so this is really about realizing that, oh no, I'm actually not held anymore. I don't have this chain around my ankle. I can go anywhere I want. So Pisces is kind of in that sense, with Jupiter especially, is liberating us through this expanded awareness that, like maybe, for example, like I gave up on music and now I have a dream. I had a dream last night that I played in front of 5,000 people. So why not go chase it? Or maybe, you never thought that you could be an actor. And then you start doing videos online, on social media, and someone comes up to you and they say, hey, have you ever thought about doing acting? And then you say, well, I don't know. I wasn't formally trained. I wasn't even in a high school play. And this guy says, no, you're not. You're setting yourself up for failure when you do that, right? And he says, you know what? I see it in you. I know that you see it in yourself. There is no problem here. There is no limitation. It's really, you are your own enemy. That's the only thing you have to conquer. And so I think Pisces is giving us that sense of magic, that sense of, again, that our dreams can become a reality. And so right now it's about people who are maybe accepting the conditions that were set for them, which is a very Saturnian thing, or designing your own dreamland and manifesting it eventually. And manifesting it by believing in the possibility. So that's really the key with Pisces. You have to actually believe in what you're doing. And as long as you believe in your idea and what you're doing to manifest it, then over time it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so April 12th to 13th, and honestly, like even the month before and after that. So it's kind of, again, a crescendo. But I really want you to pay attention to the 12th and 13th, because that's when you can really, really sort of step into your power and step into this higher plane of existence that goes beyond, again, reality. But again, you have to realize that reality has been constructed for us, and that in of itself is an optical illusion. So the dreams are, in a lot of ways, just as real. So I would see the core message of this conjunction, this once-in-a-lifetime conjunction, is trusting your gifts. Because we all have gifts. We all have talents. We all have things that we are great at. And Jupiter is also about tolerance and generosity and compassion. So for some people, it actually just might be about, hey, I used to work a desk job and now I want to do something humanitarian. I actually want to help the world. So that is another great way that you can show your gifts. And the way to figure this out, there's a number of variables in here, but one thing to focus on is, where is Pisces in your chart? What house does it fall in? And if you have Pisces at your chart angles at the cardinal points, so the first house, the IC, the midheaven, or the descendant, then this is especially going to be affecting you. So Pisces risings, this is really being integrated into their identity. So again, who am I? And I, a lot of times Pisces risings are intuitive. They might have psychic abilities. And with this conjunction, you can trust in your intuitive gifts, in your power. And you can start an entire new life from that. And also, if you have any personal planets at 23 or 24 degrees, I did a TikTok video about this, but just to kind of reinforce this, if you have planets in water signs at 23, 24 degrees, in Cancer or Scorpio specifically, then there's going to be a lot of forward momentum in these realms of spirituality or connecting to the human condition or creativity. You're going to have a lot of forward momentum there. If you have planets at 23, 24 Pisces, then there is this all-consuming experience that is probably positive, but might be a little bit overpowering at first or overwhelming. So anyways, I would encourage you to look at the TikTok video where I break it down further. But if you have these planets in Earth signs as well, it should be a fairly positive time. Unless you're a Virgo, you're going to face more of an opposition, which is a little bit disruptive, but still productive. So again, that house of where Pisces falls is going to be about is really going to be the area of life where this focus can occur. So calibrate that. And just to reiterate that, this sort of theme overall with Pisces, I want to really emphasize that this can be about spirituality, like amplifying that side, augmenting the spiritual side of your life, augmenting the creative side, augmenting the compassionate side. It does not have to be any of these areas in particular. So if you don't identify as like an artist, that's fine, right? You don't have to you don't have to create a new franchise. But you do, with Pisces, fundamentally have to, again, transcend the boundaries of our everyday mundane existence. And you have to, again, see the human condition for what it is, to see it in yourself, and to see it in others, to see it in other cultures, to see it in other, just in other places, to the point where you feel like you've completely demolished your own ego. Through that empathy and relatability, you can sense that maybe there is a higher, there's a purpose to all of this, to this life. And then you can express that purpose however you choose. Or you can live it, or you can experience that oneness, maybe again through something through meditation. So maybe this even could be a chance to explore these alternative forms of spirituality, to understand the soul in a new way. And Pisces does rule dreams. So dreams could be especially sort of prescient, prophetic, profound at this time, and maybe keeping a dream journal, because the messages that are coming in are likely very synchronistic with other moments in your life, with other things that are happening in your life. And with Pisces, a lot of the things that occur around, can feel surreal, where it's like you had a thought and then someone like talked about it the next day. So pay attention to repeating numbers, facts, names, any of these things, because that's how the message might be coming in for you. And in the concoction, the amalgamation of this, you can alchemize that into seeing again the endless possibilities of your own future. Like any of your desires and dreams can be realized if you get out of your own way. Because the dream, you can kind of see it when, again, you escape from these limitations. So if you're meditating and you levitate and you go up into outer space, right? You're or you're just hovering above a landscape. In that sense, you are defying the laws of gravity. You are defying the rules that have been set. So anytime around this time, you really just want to put yourself in situations where you can imagine and go way beyond the barriers. And I think as you do that, you'll be able to see and identify the specific dream that you're trying to achieve. And as you pick up these practices during this April timeframe, you want to continue them. And as you continue them, you strengthen this muscle. You strengthen this muscle of saying, okay, I know that I can get there. I know that I can get there. And then over the course of the year, then you can worry about the step-by-step, which is more of an earth energy. But it begins with the germination of the planting of the seed. And so don't worry if you're not like motivated to actually act on this thing yet. This is more about, again, just feeling that possibility come in. And a lot of times these possibilities and these dreams will be, again, ones that you gave up on in the past. Because Saturn tends to dominate in our society, right? We live in a very Saturnian society. And so almost everyone watching this has given up on something, right? I've given up on certain things. But, through my own work of meditation and getting into astrology, I have been able to reconnect and reclaim things that I used to think were impossible. So you have to pivot those things and say what's impossible is actually possible. And then you have to reiterate that for yourself until it is possible. So, and the only way, and again, that's the starting point with all of this, is to be open-minded and to open yourself up to the words of others, the actions of others, the creations of others, the feelings of others, and then anchor yourself around these universal human conditions that you feel compelled to express. So the last thing I want to say is also geopolitically, though, on this day, there is a couple strange transits that, could, on a global level complicate some things. So I want to mention the fact that the South Node is going to be near Joe Biden's Mercury placement. And another thing to kind of layer on top of this is that the moon is going to be opposing the U.S. natal moon. It's going to pass in opposition to Saturn and Mars. And then on top of that, it's going to conjunct Biden's Chiron and North Node. And the reason that what jumped out at me is this moon is going to be around the place where it was during the 8/8 Lionsgate last year, and during the Leo full moon February 16th, which I highlighted in previous videos as a very important and fateful day. And it really was in a lot of ways. And the US is, of course, dealing with the Pluto return. But I just found it to be a little bit... it's just noticeable. It's worth noting that this moon is crossing his Chiron, which is about, Chiron is about wounding and health challenges, and the North Node is destiny. And of course, the moon passes through this place every 28 days. But the fact that it's happening at a once-in-a-lifetime conjunction in Pisces, and Pisces is about endings and letting go. To me, that does suggest that the United States might be going through a little bit of a crisis potentially during this time as well. And that conjunction in Pisces is trining the South Node in Scorpio. And the South Node is about shedding, releasing, letting go, and it's on his Mercury, which is about the mind. So, of course, I don't want anything to happen, but I'm just calling out from the objective viewpoint of looking at the charts. Geopolitically, for the United States, and for him, this could be a very trying time. So just something to watch out for. But anyways, overall, for you on a personal level, I do really think that this could be really a life-changing moment. So this is where you can turn certain things around, and you can shift the momentum in your life from a life that is constructed for you to a life that you design yourself, where you can dream all of these possibilities and manifest them simply by believing in them. So it really starts with trust. Seeing the dream, trusting that it can happen, and then making it happen. So thank you so much again. Please check the links below if you want to keep following me, maybe book a reading with me. Again, I'm Evan, founder and lead analyst of Inner Worlds Astrology, and have a good day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are.